110%. So really, really good intel there on that. There's a couple of the things you said that I wanted to hit. So we were talking about the Epsom salt. Oh, also just really understand the people that are highest at risk are senior citizens. Why are they higher at risk, right? It's not just because they're older, they're higher at risk. Okay. Number one, older people have what? Less hydrochloric acid. What does that mean? They're not going to have the ability to digest certain minerals, magnesium, zinc. They're not going to have enough of the digestive nutrients to break down fatty acids. So part of the reason why elderly people have weaker immune system, it's not rocket science. A lot of the amino acids like glutathione precursors and NAC and vitamin A and these minerals like zinc and selenium and magnesium that are important for their immune function, they're just so low in it. So if you're at home and you're eating, make sure your diet is pristine. Get extra water with minerals in it. Take a high quality multivitamin supplement. Get extra cod liver oil and fish oil. Eat high quality meat. Like, do your best to make sure your diet is perfect right now, because part of the reason why the elderly are so affected is because there's compound interest, so to speak, right? Compounding bad habits working against them, and you have compounding nutrient deficiencies getting worse into their 60s and 70s and 80s, and now their immune system is compromised because of it.
Yep, well said. And when my wife and I were at the grocery, now granted, if we go somewhere like Whole Foods, there's generally going to be healthier options, but you could still buy unhealthy crap at Whole Foods. You could still buy tons of sugars and chocolate chip cookies and graham crackers, and all that stuff was wiped out. So I know people are trying to focus more on like your non-perishable items, but you want to try to think about more healthy non-perishable choices. So maybe like some grass-fed beef jerky. I've got some bison jerky. I've got elk meat. I've got all sorts of different various nuts and seed mixes, pumpkin seeds and things like that. So just because you have to think, and I don't even know if I don't see so far, I read that Los Angeles, for example, is working really hard to make sure that no power interruptions of the electrical grid happen at all. So you kind of don't have to think non-perishable. You should be fine to purchase fresh items.
Should be good. Like for me, lots of collagen amino acids, lots of coconut oil, so I can always lean on those amino acids and fats. And then you can always buy a whole bunch of cans of lentils. I don't love them, but at least they stay around a while. So if you want to buy a couple dozen cans of that just for more peace of mind as worst case scenario, have a backup plan. But if not, there should be no shortages right now. Thank you to the truckers in our country, and the supply chain is still intact. There's nothing wrong with the supply chain, so there shouldn't be an issue with that. Just people be smart. Don't go buy two months of toilet paper at one time, because the supply chain can't handle that much demand at once. So people, if you're out there, just kind of buy a reasonable amount, and hopefully stores will start setting limits on it, because people are just, one store yesterday, a guy came in and bought all the toilet paper in one store at one time. It's just crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah, here locally, there's pretty much signs on everything. You can only buy 2 of these, 4 of these. Like Whole Foods was maxing you out at 4 bags of frozen vegetables and basically 4 of everything was the max. Smart. Like butter. I think you could only buy 2 packs of butter at a time. But here's the thing,
and that's another great calorie source. Buy a bunch of sticks of butter if you can, because dense calories, a lot of fat soluble vitamins. You don't need a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give my daughter a half tablespoon or a tablespoon of butter, and she'll love it. I mean, it is super fuel. So if you're thinking non-perishable, though, I saw no shortage of beef jerky, grass-fed meats that were dried out. Epic bars are something that we've talked about before. I buy a company called Mission Meats. They've treated me really well. They have like turkey sticks and things like that you can have. So there are, and then also, let's just say you do get a bunch of berries. You could freeze them if you needed to. If you're like, okay, I bought these, 4 pounds of berries, now they're going to go bad. Okay, freeze them. Like nothing wrong with having a freezer full of blueberries.
100%.